The smartphone, arguably one of the greatest inventions to mankind. There's little the smartphone can't do, forever coining the phrase, there's an app for that. But if we become too reliant on these electronic screens, these black mirrors, we need to educate ourselves on the repercussions of over-reliance on these devices, and we need to train ourselves on how to avoid being consumed by them. I'm Michael Kloska, and let's see if we can get smarter about our smartphones. Personal disconnection, or the lack of interpersonal communications. This is a great way to describe our society today through the influence of a smartphone. Now, this might be confusing to some because aren't smartphones supposed to connect all of us? The answer, kinda. Smartphones connect us virtually, but they take away from our interpersonal communications, or any communication not taking place through a screen. Ever misunderstand the meaning or the tone behind a text message? I have. We keep a mental list in our heads of who we're talking to when texting so we can better understand the message we're receiving. For example, receiving K as a response from your mom carries a different weight than receiving K from your girlfriend. And it just becomes exhausting. And this is all due to the smartphone. We use different modes of communication through the smartphone. Another would be social media. While a great platform for self-expression and sharing, we've gravitated to making social media our main form of communication. And in turn, we have become consumed by it. Another great example of this would be the episode on Black Mirror called Nosedive. It depicts a society that is run on a social media rating, and in turn, the characters have lost all genuine interactions and have lost all expressive honesty. How many likes did I get on my post? Is my aesthetic pleasing to the viewer that is viewing my page? Who commented? How many comments did I get on my picture? These are all questions that social media generates for us once we've become too consumed by it. This episode is probably just one of the best ways to describe our inner battle with ourselves and how we portray ourselves on social media, and this is because of the smartphone. It can be argued that smartphones are useful, which they definitely are, and they help us with just about any task. But the problem is, we misuse them. And we allow these electronic screens to have a larger effect on us than they should. In fact, we've kind of become part of the scrolling culture. Smartphones nowadays have a scrolling mechanism on them on just about any app you can find. And we consistently scroll through all these pieces of information and become conditioned to short bursts of information at the flick of a thumb. And in turn, this kills our attention span. Ever feel trapped watching videos on Facebook? After you finish watching the first one, you feel pulled, like you can't look away from the next one, and before you know it, you've wasted your time watching 25 videos on Facebook? This resembles addiction, but it doesn't stop there. What happens to an addict when he can't get his next fix? Well, he goes through withdrawals. And this is kind of the same thing that happens when we lose our smartphone. We're filled with a feeling of panic, and we freak out because we don't know where our smartphone is. We can't find it. Well, this is actually a medical condition called nomophobia, and it affects 40% of the US population today. And this number is only going to increase the more reliant we become on our smartphones. Smartphones are a great light in our technological feats as a society. But if we don't educate ourselves on the dangers of the misuses of smartphones, then our interpersonal communicative lights will go out.